Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial here on IT Tutorials. I am Josef Botner and I'm inviting you to another tutorial here on IT Tutorials. This time I'm going to make a tutorial in Python. The goal of this tutorial is to talk about input function. So let's start the practical thing. This way you will understand better what this is about. In order to use input function, you have to type this keyword input followed by a parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, either you can write a string or a variable. If you're going to use a string, you have to use these double quotes and place your text inside the double quotes. Like it could be hello, and let's type here a space. So this is the input function. If you hover the function with your cursor, the code intelligence of this Replit editor will display here a box with a text what this function does. As you can see here inside the parentheses is this prompt, which means we can type something from our keyboard. So let's see how this works then. So let's run this little application. As you can see, it was displayed here in console this text hello, which practical is this text which was wrote by me here inside the input function. But we have there something extra. As you see, we have this little white cursor. That means after I hit the run button, actually this function was executed and the execution of this application was transferred to the console. So this is that prompt which was inside the explanation of this function by intelligence code. So now the prompt means we can type something from the keyboard. I'm gonna to type it.tutorials. After you finished with the writing from keyboard, just hit the enter key from keyboard. And here you go. As you can see, the cursor stay here and we have this yellow arrow. Yeah, and nothing was displayed. To understand exactly how this works, how this input function works, we copy this, and there is a editor, a Python editor called Tony, which helps us to understand our code or how a statement, a function works. Yeah. So I'm going to paste it, that statement here inside this editor, Tony editor, and here it is this icon which looks like a bug, which actually will debug our statement. So hit it. So let's save this first. Here you go. Now again, hit the button, the debug button. These arrows will appear after you hit the debug button. Just click on step into. Now As you can see, the debugger selected all the function. Click on step into. Hello. This text was displayed in console, which is a part of this function input, as you can see, and the execution was transferred to the console. From this moment, we can type from keyboard what we like. For example, it.tutorials. Yeah. Enter. And what you can see, after I press the enter key, actually the execution of this application was transferred back to the editor and back to the function, to the input function. And the input function was replaced by what I typed in console, was replaced by this text it.tutorials, as you can see. Yeah. So in this way works this input function. Yeah, as you have seen. But probably you ask yourself, why here, where is this yellow arrow, nothing is displayed? Because this is not the input function meaning. The input function will display the text which is placed inside the parentheses, but will not display what you type from your keyboard. In order to be displayed in console what you type from console, you have to use print function together with input function. Yeah, so let's see how this works. Yeah, so let's do it. So print parentheses, I'm going to remove this, and here I'm going to place this text hello space plus operator, and after the input function, and I'm going to put here like write something. Yeah. Okay, let's hit this run button. Here you go. Now was displayed first this text, write something, which is the text being part of this input function. That means first will be executed this function input. And the execution of this application is transferred to console now. That means we can type from our keyboard something, because here we have this white cursor to the end of this string. So let's type something. I'm going to type again it.tutorials and exclamation sign. Now enter, and this time we have there something different. We have all this text, hello it.tutorial. Yeah, because I used this function print, which concatenate these two, namely this hello text and what replaced this input function, which is this text typed from keyboard it.tutorials. So these two was concatenated. In order to understand better, you can use this Tony editor. Just paste in here the entire statement, hit the debug button, and go on step into. As you can see, first of all, the debug will select all the statement, and it will go step by step selecting after what it is inside this print function. Yeah, here you go. So now it was executed first this input function. How we know that? It's here, there is the answer. The text, which is placed inside input function parentheses, was displayed in console. Write something. And now the execution of application was transferred to console. I'm gonna to type it.tutorials. Enter. After I press enter key from keyboard, you can see the execution of this application was transferred back to the editor. And the input function was replaced by this text, it.tutorials, which is the text typed inside the console. Now hit again step into. Now you see all this was selected, which is part of print function. Yeah, and don't forget we have this plus operator, which will concatenate these two strings. Step into. And now when you see selected all this print function, that means the next step into will execute this function print. Here you go. And we have displayed in console all the text hello it.tutorials. So in this way works input function and the print function together with the input if you want to display in console what you have typed from your keyboard using this input function. That was all for today. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. I'm waiting for you to watch my other video tutorials on my channel. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.